Welcome to the Explainer. So picture this, a kid actually having a blast with math, or maybe a grandparent keeping their mind razor sharp without breaking a sweat. Sounds pretty great, right? Today, we're exploring this concept of calm mathematics. Specifically, we're looking at how simple math vocabulary word searches can totally boost learning for kids and at the same time protect vital brain health for seniors. Let's jump right in.
Mathematics is a language. That idea completely flips how we usually think about the subject. Usually, we associate math with ticking timers, stressful calculations, giant red error marks, just intense pressure. But if we reframe math as simply a language that we're learning, well, everything changes. Because confidence in any language comes from getting familiar with the words, not from speed drills or high-pressure tests. Our whole goal here is to establish a really calm, reassuring foundation.
And, well, how do you learn a new language? You start with the words. By targeting these foundational math terms through gentle, super approachable word find puzzles, we're stripping away the complex equations. We're removing that immediate, panicky demand for an answer. And by doing that, we basically eliminate the anxiety. We're creating a safe space to build familiarity and confidence, totally free from traditional classroom pressure.
Section 1. Young Learners and Math Vocabulary.
Now, math vocabulary is absolutely crucial, but honestly, it's often the single biggest roadblock for students, especially when they hit word problems. Words like denominator, equivalent, polygon, or variable, they can feel incredibly abstract and deeply intimidating. To a child, or let's be real, to anyone who has ever hated math, they sound like a literal foreign language. When a student reads a problem with the word denominator and doesn't instantly know what it means, panic sets in immediately. Their working memory just gets flooded with stress, and there is zero room left for the actual problem solving.
Okay, let's dive into this and see how a simple puzzle solves this exact problem. First off, searching for these terms improves spelling and instant visual recognition. Secondly, it builds incredible focus and scanning skills, and those are skills that directly transfer to reading and dissecting those tricky math problems later on. And finally, it gamifies the whole learning process. It turns what feels like a tedious chore into an approachable game. That is an absolute game changer for reluctant learners who might otherwise just completely shut down.
So here is the big takeaway: confidence before calculation. Studies actually prove that vocabulary-building activities like this improve overall retention and significantly boost a student's confidence in math class. When they finally see polygon in a textbook, they don't freak out. They think, "Oh, hey, I know that word. I just found it in my puzzle yesterday." This is exactly why these gentle word searches are spreading like wildfire as a favorite warm-up tool for teachers everywhere.
Section 2. Brain Health for Adults.
So while young learners use these puzzles to build a foundation, older adults can use the exact same tool to protect and preserve their brain health. Large, really extensive studies of adults over 50 show that frequent puzzle users perform significantly better on cognitive tests. We're talking measurable improvements across 4 specific areas: memory, attention, reasoning, and processing speed. Keeping the brain engaged with these specific demands is basically a targeted workout for your mind.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the concept of cognitive reserve. Think of it like your brain's shock absorber. It is the brain's resilience, its ability to improvise and find alternate, clever pathways to get a job done. And researchers widely believe that building up this reserve through stimulating activities like puzzles can actually help delay the onset of age-related cognitive decline. You are literally building a tougher, more resilient brain.
But you might be wondering, why math word searches specifically? Why not just a regular old word search? Well, math-specific word searches are uniquely powerful because they combine 3 distinct mental exercises into one single activity. They require language processing to read the term, pattern recognition to hunt down the letters in the grid, and logical thinking related to the math concepts themselves. It's this amazing, multi-layered cognitive workout, all wrapped up in a completely stress-free, rewarding package.
Section 3. How to use them.
So, how do you actually use these effectively at home? Well, it all comes back to maintaining that calm, low-pressure vibe. And this brilliantly illustrates what I mean. Imagine some soft lighting, maybe a warm cup of coffee right next to you. You look for a word like isosceles. You aren't forcing a kid to define it on the spot, and you definitely aren't testing a senior on geometry. You are simply, gently finding the letters isosceles and highlighting them. It's just a mindful, deliberate process that introduces the word safely.
The exact same goes for a fundamental term like quotient. You just find it, circle it, and move on. That's it. The brain naturally maps the word out.
So the next time you or your child encounters quotient, the anxiety is completely gone. The familiarity is already there. It is a completely calm, low-pressure interaction with mathematics.
To really get the most out of this, here are a few super simple steps for success. First, don't overwhelm anyone. Start with manageable 10 by 10 grids, especially for kids or beginners. Second, consistency is totally key. Just 10 to 15 minutes of practice a day is plenty to see real benefits. And third, my absolute favorite tip, team up. Having a grandparent and a grandchild sit down together to do a math word search, that is a beautiful intergenerational way to bond while building math confidence and cognitive reserve all at the same time.
As we wrap things up today, I really want to leave you with this core message. Calm learning works. We absolutely do not need high stakes to achieve high understanding. Whether you're trying to dial back math anxiety in a reluctant young student, or you're just looking for a really enjoyable, rewarding way to maintain your brain health as you get older, these simple math vocabulary puzzles are a fantastic, scientifically proven tool.
So, I hope this explainer has shown you that learning math vocabulary is not only achievable, but genuinely beneficial at literally any age. I'd love for you to think about how you can apply this in your own life or home right now. Which age group are you most interested in supporting? Are you focusing on building confidence for the kids or protecting cognitive health for the seniors in your life? Think about that, grab a few calm word find puzzles, and begin that journey today. Thanks so much for joining me.